Let's have a quick conversation about TurboTax versus Cash App taxes. And if you're interested in this comparison, here is the overview I want you to pay attention to. Right off the bat, I want to tell you that there are two main differences. Of course, I will elaborate on those two differences later on. There are two main differences. Number one, Cash App taxes is completely free, whereas TurboTax, you got to qualify for the free edition. That's number one. Number two, TurboTax is more comprehensive. It has more comprehensive features and covers more forms than Cash App taxes. Okay, so let's now talk about Cash App taxes in detail. So when you think about Cash App taxes, I want you to think about a tool that's great for those who have relatively simple tax situations and are looking for truly free tax preparation software. I'm talking about truly free tax preparation software. No upselling, totally free from A to Z. Even if you do not have a straightforward return, you can make this software work for you. For example, if you actually, you can file free, even if you itemize deductions, you have investment income, or let's say you are self-employed, something that you can't do with TurboTax or H&R Block for that matter. So Cash App taxes, in our view, an excellent choice for those who have a good handle on filing their taxes and will not need support. And Cash App taxes does not offer any options for live assistance, paid or otherwise. So this is kind of important to really mention that. So it's not a great choice for anything other than DIY online filing in our view. So that's for Cash App taxes. What about TurboTax? So when you think about TurboTax, I want you to think about comprehensiveness. I want you to think about a large constellation of features. Okay, this is actually the best all-around tax preparation software in our view. So this software is comprehensive and can really accommodate virtually any type of tax situation. And it makes it very easy to find deductions and credits to save more. And so this is kind of cool, but it is actually, you have to pay for it. Okay. Now to qualify for TurboTax's free edition, you need to earn W-2 income below a certain level and take the standard deduction. If you itemize, you are going to upgrade to the paid version. You need to take the standard deduction. And so consequently, not all taxpayers qualify. So this is kind of important. And so TurboTax is actually great for beginners thanks to its intuitive platform and resources. And it's especially great for returning customers as well. So we love that. We love that as well. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. Let's talk about prices here. So when we talk about Cash App taxes, obviously it's free. So in terms of pricing, zero. Okay. So in this department, Cash App taxes will win because Cash App taxes, they are free from A to Z. You're not paying anything. So you can actually, you have a long list of forms and schedules that you can actually avail yourself of, even if you go with Cash App, even if you are filing for free. So you have W-2 income, you have small business earnings, you have investment income, rental property income, no problem. You know, if you have Form 1099, I'm talking about all kinds of Form 1099. You have Form 1099, INT, K, you have NEC, you name it, Cash App taxes will cover it. You have schedules from A all the way to H, A, B, C, D, E, F, H. Fantastic. You have itemized deductions, child tax credit, mortgage interest credit, education credit, EITC, not a problem. Okay. So when it comes to a comprehensiveness, Cash App taxes is pretty good. Again, everything is free. No strings attached. No strings attached. Okay. And so this is kind of cool. And one thing I want to say here is that if you are looking for a truly free sort of software, Cash App taxes is the way to go. What about TurboTax? Now, TurboTax is charging you, right? TurboTax has a quartet, the usual quartet of pricing tiers. So you have the free, you have the deluxe, the premier, and the self-employed. Now, with self-employed is actually the most expensive sort of pricing tier. So if you're looking for the free edition, you better have like a situation that's very simple, a tax situation that's very simple. Like if you have if you have to take the standard deduction, for instance, if you're a student, if you are a single filer, if you don't have any sort of quote unquote complicated tax situation, you will really go with the TurboTax free edition, not a problem. And it's free not only at the federal level, and in some cases, it's also free at the state level. So this is really good. But with TurboTax, I want you want to think about paying somewhere from $0 for the free edition all the way to $125. $125, that's the self-employed. Self-employed is always more expensive. always, because you have self-employed income, you have forms 1099, NEC, Schedule C. For instance, you are able to integrate business expenses. You have over 500 deductions and credits, including self-employed tax deductions. So pretty comprehensive. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. I want to remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about TurboTax versus Cash App taxes. I want to talk about the features here. So when you think about Cash App taxes, of course, I think I said to you before that simply because it is free doesn't mean that it has fewer features, right? You have a lot of good features within Cash App taxes. Like for instance, if you have a free audit defense. By the way, when we talk about free audit defense within Cash App taxes, we're not talking about Cash App taxes actually fighting for you vis-a-vis the IRS. No, basically they're just going to look at things like correspondence you got from the IRS, preparation and representation. Okay. And in some cases, but you might have to pay for it though. And so one thing we love about Cash App Tax is that they have an accurate calculations guarantee. They have a free audit. They allow you to have your refunds deposited a little earlier. This is really good. And so basically you have transparency across the board. So we love that a lot. Obviously you do not have like 500 forms as you do with TurboTax. That's one thing for sure. So when you think about Cash App taxes, it's just a conduit, if you will, for Cash App, the company that owns Cash App taxes, to actually, to drum up business for its other units. So by the way, Cash App taxes used to be called Credit Karma. So this is not a new player. It's actually a revamped player. So in terms of features for TurboTax, you have everything. You have a optional paid live support. You have a tax return lifetime guarantee. You have a maximum refund guarantee. This is kind of cool. You have satisfaction guarantee. We love that. We love that a lot. And what we love about TurboTax is that it's not only comprehensive in terms of features, but you also have the opportunity to have live help. So if you have a question, whatever, you have live help, not a problem. You can also import data from QuickBooks Online because see, TurboTax is owned by the same company, Intuit, okay? And they used to have a personal finance app called Mint, but they actually are going to just close it down in January 2024. So, but it's still good because having TurboTax, you are able to integrate it with QuickBooks Online, not a problem. Let's talk a little more about the software details. So when you actually think about TurboTax versus Cash App taxes, let's talk about the details. Now, I first want to talk about the pros and cons here. So when you think about Cash App taxes, first of all, the pros, there is no cost to file federal and state returns. One thing I need to say here is that you can only file one state return. You can't, like if you live in Jersey, you can't actually file New York and Connecticut and Jersey at the same time. No, you can only file Jersey. Okay, so this is kind of limited in some cases, but hey, listen, it is what it is. Free, it's free, so use it. And so perks such as audit defense are available, and you may be eligible for a gift card if you don't get the largest refund possible. So this is kind of cool. And so those are the pros for Cash App taxes. What about the cons? Well, you cannot use Cash App taxes for some tax situations. As I said earlier when I started this conversation, I said that basically Cash App taxes is great for a certain tax situation, especially not the very complicated ones. Because if you have a complicated tax situation, you better go with TurboTax or H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt or some of those more established players on the market. You have a Tax Layer or Tax Act, and so expert help is not available through Cash App taxes, and you must download the Cash App to use the service. Okay, so it's one of those things where it can be a bummer in our view. And one thing I want to say also is that basically there is no dedicated support specifically for Cash App taxes. It's one of those things, see, because now I'm telling you the details of each software. So if you are if you're a tax filer who will want to actually have I would say dedicated support, like you want to speak to someone on the phone, you can't really have it through Cash App taxes. Okay. And it's one of those things where you have to really understand what you can and what you cannot qualify for. And one thing I want to say here is that overall, when we talk about reviews from customers, Cash App Taxes, it's just right in the middle. Okay, it's not that great. It's not that bad. It's just right in the middle. So it's one of those things where you have to actually calibrate your expectations accordingly. So you don't expect anything extraordinary if you were to go with Cash App Taxes. One thing I want to say also is that basically when you go with Cash App Taxes, just remember that at the end of the day, it's all about getting your refund ASAP, right? And Cash App Taxes does deliver on that front. That's for sure. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about TurboTax versus Cash App Taxes. Let me talk to you about the cons and the pros of TurboTax, okay? And so when you think about TurboTax, I want you to think about a tool that offers free filing and a range of paid options for people with different tax situations. So we love that a lot. So when you switch to TurboTax, you are going to enjoy the flexibility. You are going to enjoy the availability of all the options, all the options possible here. And expert help is available to those who need it. So if you need expert help, not a problem. Something that's not really possible with Cash App Taxes. And you have guarantees. You have guarantees around accuracy and maximum refund. I mean, this is kind of similar to what Cash App Taxes also provides, but the guarantee is higher and larger with the TurboTax when compared to Cash App Taxes. So those are the pros. Obviously, this list is not exhaustive, right? You have more benefits coming your way through TurboTax, but in the interest of time, I just wanted to really sort of focus on those three benefits. What about the cons here? Well, first of all, when you think about TurboTax, think about price. I mean, price is high, that's for sure. It comes with the territory. You can't do anything about it. And basically, TurboTax just costs more than most tax preparation software providers, even if you file completely on your own. And TurboTax does not include free audit defense. And so also, if you are interested in the free edition of TurboTax, you have to understand that this is very basic. As I told you earlier, you cannot itemize deductions. You can only take the standard deduction. So that's just a bummer already. And so basically, the TurboTax free edition is more limited in supported income, forms, and credits than other free e-filing plans. So this is like something to be aware of. So one thing I want to say here is that TurboTax filers can rest easy over any mistakes at the fault of the tax software because it comes with a 100% accuracy guarantee. Meaning what? If anything it were to become like Ori, TurboTax will pay any IRS penalties on your behalf. Okay, so this is something to be aware of. Now, let me talk to you about the alternative here. So if for any reason you actually are thinking about, I don't want to go with TurboTax or I don't want to go with Cash App Taxes, basically you have an alternative, okay? And this is H&R Block. And basically when you think about H&R Block, I want you to think about a great all-around tax preparation software tool also, especially if you're looking to file your taxes with a pro, because H&R Block has the benefit of having a constellation of brick and mortar branches. So H&R Block offers excellent online plans for self-filing, as well as top-notch professional services at a reasonable price. I mean, H&R Block, for all intents and purposes, is cheaper than TurboTax, that's for sure. And so with H&R Block's layered tax preparation process, you can actually get started with an online plan and actually get expert support whenever you need it, or even turn the job over to a professional. So this is kind of cool. So again, going back to the flexibility, it's just fantastic. And in terms of pricing, you're looking at H&R Block, of course, also has a free version, a free plan. So that's totally good. If you are within a certain income threshold, you could qualify for a free H&R Block plan, not only at the federal level, but also at the state level. So you have the free plan, you have the deluxe plan, the premium plan, and the self-employed plan. So similar to TurboTax, the self-employed plan is always expensive, but the self-employed plan from H&R Block is actually capping the amount at around $90 to $95, not the $150 that TurboTax charges you. Okay. And when we talk about the unique features of H&R Block, think about you have optional live assistance, you have free audit support guarantee, no surprise guarantee. You have you also have 100% accuracy guarantee. This is kind of cool. So again, what we love about H&R Block is the fact that it has branches. It has physical branches you can actually walk into and have a conversation with someone. Okay. And one thing I want to say also is that you can also have the conversation with someone over the phone or online via chat. So this is totally possible. If you listen to me right now and you don't live in the vicinity of an H&R Block sort of office, you can still qualify for their expert help sort of process. You just need to dial it in. You can dial somebody in from H&R Block, or just have you can have a live chat with an expert. Not a problem. So what is the verdict here? What is our verdict? TurboTax versus Cash App taxes. Which one should you go for? Okay. Number one, the bottom line here is what? You need to really understand exactly what you're looking for. Okay. So Cash App taxes and TurboTax each offer tax preparation services that can help you file an accurate and timely return. In terms of legitimacy, they both are legit. In terms of safety, they both are safe. In terms of like if you're looking for like if you want to have a comprehensive features of, if you want to have a comprehensive set of features, we would say that TurboTax is a lot better. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Cash App taxes is actually a free, yes, but you're kind of limited. Okay, so if you have very basic tax situations, you can save a lot of cash by filing with Cash App taxes. Not a problem. The service is always free for both your federal return and one state return. I said one. So you cannot file multiple state returns with the Cash App taxes. And now, if your needs are anything beyond basic, if your tax needs are anything beyond basic, or if you simply prefer having the option of reaching out to a tax professional for help, TurboTax might suit you better. Just be aware that you likely will have to pay to get the preparation help you need. So there is a cost in anything, okay? But it's one of those things where you have the option. You have the option to actually go one way or another. And so one thing I want to say here is that to actually close, basically, if you are a student, or you're a single filer, or let's say, or just say your situation makes it very simple for you to file your own taxes, and one thing for sure, with TurboTax, remember though, you need to actually be able to take the standard deduction. If you are going to itemize, you're going to have to pay for stuff, okay? So you're going to have to itemize, and also your income level should be below a certain threshold. Because if you're making $100,000, if you're making $250,000, you're not going to qualify for this. And this makes sense. This is just, you're not going to qualify for the free edition of TurboTax. It just makes sense. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I did a quick compare and contrast between TurboTax and Cash App taxes. So I spoke about I gave you the overview, the prices, the features, the software details, and the alternative, and then finally, the verdict. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.